This is the Week in Sustainability from Sustain.Life. It's where our team of sustainability experts and practitioners share commentary to keep you up to date on developing stories and news.
Hi, and welcome back to the Week in Sustainability. I'm Hannah Osofsky, Sustainability Data Analyst at Sustain.Life. I'm welcoming back Customer Success Manager Devin Heater to the podcast today. Loyal audience members will recognize Devin. For anyone new joining us, would you mind giving a description of your role?
Of course. So my name is Devin Heater, and I'm a customer success manager here at Sustain.Life. I guide our customers through their onboarding and support them throughout their sustainability journey.
Awesome. Thank you again and always for joining. We're going to cover the fact that the UK just joined or just backed a moratorium on deep sea mining, and that state level US officials are calling on the EPA to strengthen waste management programs. So we'll start off. Devin, what do you know about the deep sea?
Yeah, I'm the Jacques Cousteau of Sustain.Life. There's very little about the
Oh,
deep sea that I don't know. That's not true. But I've always heard this saying that only 5% of the ocean has been explored. We know more about the surface of the moon than we do about the deep ocean. I also understand that that is not true at all. Technically, we've mapped 100% of the ocean floor, but it was using similar technology that has given us maps of Mars and Venus. And a map itself doesn't really tell us everything we need to know.
exactly. You and I know and have seen some really awesome seafloor maps. But even the researchers that are working most closely with the deep sea are happy to admit that it's pretty widely a mystery to us. Again, we do have those amazing maps of the ocean floor. They don't give us the insight into really what the environment is like down there. And we certainly don't know what the consequences could be to disrupt it with mining activity. And this gap in knowledge is exactly why so many scientists worldwide are campaigning to at least hold off on extraction until more is known. And the exciting thing that has recently happened is that on Tuesday, the UK joined an existing group of 20 countries calling for a moratorium on commercial deep sea mining.
It feels like a big deal to see a player like the UK take a stance on this. Who are they joining in the opposition?
Yeah, they're joining Germany, Brazil, France, Canada, Chile, Sweden. There are many, many more. They're also joining a group of car manufacturers that have pledged not to accept any deep sea minerals. Nickel, cobalt, copper, manganese. They're the highest priority minerals in this project, and in part because of the car industry's demand. So BMW, Volvo, and Samsung have made their opposition clear.
I mean, car manufacturers are, again, as you said, a big part of the demand for these minerals. These minerals are also critical minerals in the energy transition. Um, a- and we're already seeing on land mining supply lag as that demand grows.
Yeah, this is a central question in climate action versus, sort of traditional environmentalism. To eliminate our dependency on fossil fuels, to mitigate climate change, we have to rapidly expand our renewable energy production. And these minerals are key to that expansion. And at the same time, we've already witnessed what mining projects can do to on land environments and habitats and water sources. So,
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we'll have to wait and see how the International Seabed Authority responds to the growing opposition. For now, the authority has only issued exploration permits and not extraction.
correct. We wouldn't expect to see extraction permits be granted anytime within the next 2 years. And we'll see if those are granted when that sort of the period of their planning is up. But for now, we can move back on land and talk about landfills. Exciting. We highlight methane here often, and a recent letter from 56 city officials in the United States, in 18 of our states, shows that they've been thinking about methane too. So on Halloween, city officials wrote a letter to EPA Administrator Michael Reagan calling to pick up the pace on prevention and mitigation efforts, specifically towards landfills and waste.
In the letter, leaders cite landfills as the third largest methane source in the US. Methane is emitted from landfills as organic material decomposes, but those emissions can be avoided if organic material is diverted from landfills. So many local governments have programs in place to reduce food waste and and curbside composting programs have grown. But leaders are calling on the EPA to expand grant funding for these programs so that they can be much more widely implemented.
Right. The letter has two specific asks. The first is exactly what you're talking about. They'd like the EPA to develop and implement a plan that phases out all organic material entering into landfills by 2040. Part of that ask is that they also develop grant funding and technical assistance for local programs. And then the second ask is that the EPA update its existing landfill standards. There are more advanced technologies to detect and mitigate methane leaks in landfills now, and the EPA standards have kind of fallen behind the time. So this ask is, open up a rulemaking process, evaluate these new technologies, and really push that they're implemented more widely.
Yeah, both of those sound logical. I know that I have a composting program where I live in New York City. Do you have compost pickup available to you?
When I was living in Massachusetts, we did, and compost pickup makes everything really easy and makes waste disposal accessible to people that don't have their own compost bin. In Florida, that service is not available to us. I think I've got some friends that kind of group their compost together, but when options like these are made available to the public, they're taken advantage of pretty quickly, and that's really great to see. So definitely hoping that the EPA makes some action on this. And when they do, we'll cover them here. So thank you, Devin, as always, for joining the week on sustainability. And thank you, everyone who's watching and listening.
Sustain.Life is the leading and most comprehensive sustainability software on the market. To learn how we can help your company measure its emissions and take climate action, go to Sustain.Life. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this show on our YouTube channel or your favorite podcast platform. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.